Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Night Sith, episode 16. Now, I am Fractured Filter, your host, and as always with me, my co-host, Jay Hitman. How's it going, sir?
Oh, how's everybody doing? So excited to be here. Episode 16. We're just it's
cruising along.
It's really exciting to see because, I've said it before. It's like we started this just as something that we both want to do and have fun with, and it's really cool to see it evolving and growing, and how somebody like myself who hasn't really done social media before at all has now learned many
How to do it.
facets of social media from yours truly, Fractured Filter.
Oh, I you're gonna end up probably regretting that one day.
I don't think so. Like
you're gonna be like, man, this guy brought me onto Twitter, and now I don't know.
No, it's the greatest thing ever because one of my sole purpose in life, as of right now, currently, is to start a war on Twitter.
Right.
I'll just say this. I'll take one quote from Elon Musk.
Oh boy.
He says Twitter's a war zone.
Right.
And so it's really, I wonder, like, what is like Stig of the North? Does Stig change his name like very often? Because there's like Stig of the North.
He seems to kind of go through cycles. He'll change his name to kind of just different things just to mix it up.
Like on a Tuesday it's Stig of the North, Wednesday it's Stig of the Pig or whatever. But it's like, I wonder, like, does Star Wars OG Star Wars, does she have, like, do they go into this like wanting to start something with like the Children of the Mouse, or they just like, I know that they're great, they're great content creators, and I do, but it's just, I wonder, like, do they go in like, I'm gonna, like, I know this is gonna, I hate this word because you and I are of the same generation, but trigger, I hate that word, but like, do they go in like, I'm gonna trigger the Children of the Mouse with
I think if there was probably anybody that's going in to rustle some jimmies, it would probably be Stig.
Sure. He's great.
He probably is the guy that is like, I don't know. I haven't actually had any dialogue with the guy. I can only just go from some of the comments that he leaves on Twitter here and there.
It's like,
he definitely goes in and kind of no holds bar.
He reminds me. I don't know if you're a hockey connoisseur, but it's like the gloves. He throws the gloves off and he's ready to go.
It's like the brawl. And he backs it up.
Oh, that's the greatest thing.
I think again, this is all just speculation. I'm just going off of what I've perceived and just kind of observed or whatever. For OG Star Wars, she just kind of like she just kind of goes in like corrects the record, basically,
right?
States the facts of the matter,
right?
Facts of the case is very got her feet planted in the facts of it all and goes for it. So
if we continue down this path, we should really reach out and see if we can. I would love to get her on, even if it's like a 5 or 10 minutes, just to get her on and get some content going, because she's great. Like, she's, it's funny, like, when Star Wars, and it's like you can read whatever somebody posts and be like, yeah, that's true because it's factual, right? Versus like Children of the Mouse post something, it's like, well, maybe, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's true because it's factual and it's backed up.
And it's not just backed up by a post,
right?
They'll back it up with like screenshots of articles and from books and stuff like that. So it's not just rattling off the top of their head or anything without any receipts to back it up. No, they come in,
and
with everything, with all the ammunition possible.
100%. Credit to you, and I, like, to myself, I think that's where I'm trying to personally do a lot more of. Like, this is I've upped my game, and I thought, like, we all had, you and I had pretty good knowledge. But this is where, like, I'm even diving in harder. And if we're gonna do this, have this show, which obviously is for fun, but if we're gonna do this, like, it gives me that extra, like, no, if I'm gonna post something, it's gonna be backed by evidence and facts, and I don't care who fights it. Like, the fact, to quote Ben Shapiro, like, people are like, I hate you, whatever. Facts don't care about your feelings. That's what I'll quote.
Oh no, I mean, it's a true enough statement for sure.
So, but God, it's just, I'm having a blast, and it's a blast to see other people, again, like
Doing
Stig,
the same thing.
OG,
Yeah.
Script Trooper, that are doing the same thing. Like, it's not about how many likes you have and how far your show goes, but if you can at least, have dialogue,
Something you're proud of.
oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
and back it, factually, like, and hopefully, like, get some of these shysters to see that they're, following stuff that's not true. Then that, so be it. All the better.
A false prophet, as it were.
Dude, I'm off my soapbox, but why don't you tell everybody, what do we have in store today? Like, I'm really excited. There's been so much that's been coming down from the pipe, if you will. Like, I call it the pipe. May not be a pipe, but there's so many different things that I've seen this week. Like, what do we have in store? Like, what do you want to?
There has been quite. I mean, I've got a few different little things. You know what? I think we'll kind of kick it off a little bit light, kind of a little something neat.
Okay, build up my blood pressure. Like, the closer we get.
You get to the review
as we get to this wonderful episode.
As it is with the title, we're gonna be season with Mandalorian season 2, episode 2. We'll be reviewing that today. Which that was a tough episode to get through.
Well, I got your text last night. I was like, oh, I don't even want to. I didn't know. So when you sent that, I was like, I didn't know that this was the episode. Like, this is,
yeah.
So I remembered this episode purely based off the fact that I believe PETA got involved after this aired.
Oh, because of Grogu eating the eggs and stuff?
Yes. Did you, like, I'll have to find, I think I might be able to find the article, but PETA was up and
if you can find that, that'd be hilarious.
I will find. Yeah, I'll find it
as the review.
But there's a big kerfuffle over this.
I just found it just such a
pointless.
Well, we'll get to that for sure.
Okay, we'll kick it off lightly. Ease my heart into it, and
So there was some news that got dropped. This was like probably a week or two ago.
Is it what I think it is?
Probably not. Probably not, because this is going more from the gaming perspective.
Oh, okay.
This was since I'm always mentioning Star Wars Galaxies in some form or another on this show. One of the servers that I'm generally playing in, because I have such a love-hate relationship with Star Wars: The Old Republic, I'm just always taking massive breaks, so I have my alternatives. So this emulated server called Star Wars Galaxies Legends, which, for people out there that know the game, know of Star Wars Galaxies, this is using the new game enhancements, which was, I guess, some of the source code that they were able to mostly get a hold of easily in comparison to what they had to do for rebuilding it from scratch for this whole for all the emulated projects out there. So this one has been chugging along, and they've added a bunch of new stuff. They have their own. They've added in Cloud City, which was pretty cool looking to see. And like it is, I can understand some people's own reluctance to want to jump into this game because some of the gameplay is still a little stiff here and there. The animations, some of them are nice, but it's definitely dated to some respects. But like I said, they've been adding, and the great thing is that they have the expansion that came out for Star Wars Galaxies called Jump to Lightspeed. So you then have basically X-Wing versus TIE Fighter in your MMO Star Wars game, which is great, and which was also a big disappointment for a lot of people when they were going into Star Wars: The Old Republic, and the ship game, the ship aspect of the game is just a on rails shooter, which didn't live up to much, and they certainly abandoned it after some time. Now, the point for some of this is that they had put out Star Wars Galaxies Legends. They put out an update, which I thought was really kind of cool and interesting. Was this whole aspect of, like it says, introducing ranching and farming. And this is their official trailer for it. And we're going to just kind of take a quick look at this, and I think it's certainly it's a game mechanic that wasn't there at all. So I think that's really kind of cool that they've taken the time and are able to introduce a completely new mechanic. Now I don't know if they're kind of relying on other stuff from the game itself, but I just had to say, I decided to go, this is pretty freaking cool. So I'll just kind of start this off. Oh wait, I probably can't hear it. Hang on. I kind of turned it down because I got the Star Wars music in there, and it's gonna. I don't have to. Okay, I did have share audio tab. Yeah, ranching and farming, which I thought was kind of cool, and like they show off. They got the little pens for the animals themselves. You got your actual plants growing. You can germinate seeds. I mean, it's really kind of crazy that they were able to do this, and they even basically put in completely new housing. And this is also kind of cool, is that they have new smuggler content, so you can basically do a whole Heisenberg Breaking Bad tier sort of thing of making your own spice and drugs and stuff like that. And now that was kind of the funny thing with this, is that they show the taming animals, which was a mechanic pre new NGE content. They'd kind of removed a lot of the classes, and creature handler was always one of the ones that I enjoyed because of this aspect of grabbing an animal, raising it up, giving it skills and attacks and stuff like that. And I had known that they had removed it for the new game enhancements, and then at some point, I think they kind of sort of, and they have it back in the Legends server here, but I just haven't tried it all out, and I decided it's kind of interesting that they make this extra point for taming wild animals, which I'm guessing they might be retooling that. So, and then here it is. They also have the different houses. That last one I think was the Tatooine. Yeah, Tatooine style, and then a Naboo style house. And that's the great thing about this game, is that you got a lot of the different planets in the Star Wars galaxy to travel to, check out, and stuff like that. And they're big planets. Granted, they can be kind of empty, but that's also then where they gave where this game gave people the freedom and availability to drop their own player cities and stuff like that, which I always thought was really cool. So, and then of course, like it is with these houses, you can always decorate it however you want. And like they're showing off, they've got the different planter boxes and stuff for you to be able to grow and all that stuff. So I gotta say, for this old of a game to be introducing these new little game mechanics, I'm like, oh man, that's pretty freaking sweet.
Let's see, what are you playing here? Nice.
And I mean, that's the thing too with this game, is that they brought in a story light, at least I'd say. You get to interact with all the different, Star Wars characters, from Luke, Han, and Leia, and everything. So I just thought this was a cool little update for their game, and just kind of show it off and talk about it really quick. And I thought
we haven't had a game like that though, and that's what's so cool, because I mean, honestly, out of all the games, would you say this is like more interactive than most, or?
It was definitely in the day of, the game was very interactive, it was very player. It relied on the players to sustain not only the economy, but it was just kind of like it's kind of funny. It's like for anybody that did the installs, it's like, at the end of it, it's like, now you get to start the greatest journey of Star Wars, yours. So
right, yeah,
it's very reliant on you to kind of get into it a little bit more, kind of do the whole role playing. It really brings the role playing to the MMO part of it all. Right. So that was always kind of it had some fun moments, had some kind of, I hate to use the word cringy, but it does have some with players kind of taking things sometimes as it is a little too seriously, but it's all part of the fun. No, I know, shocking, right? But it's all part of the fun, and a little positivity I felt we could kick this off with before we
I'm
get
glad
into
that you did that because I thought you were gonna do it. Yeah, I thought you were gonna choose one of the other articles. So thank you for
not yet.
not going
Not yet.
so hard into the paint.
Did you have one in particular you wanted to jump
man,
into?
let's see here.
I mean, if you want, drop it in the private chat, and I'll bring it up.
There's a couple. Let's see here. If you want to pick another one, yeah, I'm gonna go through.
Well, yeah. So I'll and this is the funny thing. And speaking of from the top of the show, OG Star Wars, she was pointing out a lot of fun stuff, and she did a video on it too on StarWars.com on their data bank side. Still has some old information, I guess, that they're going to probably have to end up updating at some point, because when they brought this out, I don't know how well you can see that, but there's the new artwork for the Obi-Wan Kenobi, and of course they're kind of promoting, hey, they're going to be fighting again.
Oh yeah.
So we got that, but then she did some diving and went and on the, and I'll even show the StarWars.com site where you can find all this, because yeah, like it is. She grabbed the profile for, it's like the biography for Ben at this point. Oh, it's not letting me do it. No, let me get the actual StarWars.com page. Maybe that'll work a little better. Where is it? So many tabs. There it is. Okay. So here we go. So this is the StarWars.com site. And this is in the biography section for Obi-Wan Kenobi. And you got it where it's okay. This you can see a lot better. So like it says on the image here, Obi-Wan went into hiding on Tatooine. He would stay there for decades, adopting the name of Ben. The locals would refer to him as a crazy old hermit. During this time, Kenobi spent years communing with the Force. Through meditation, he made contact with the spirit of Qui-Gon Jinn, his former master, and his former master had discovered the secret of preserving his identity in the netherworld of the Force. Obi-Wan studied from him, learning this ability. And, you know, that's just basically not alluding to anything further, because, of course, we haven't gotten that show yet. But it's still like, you think they'd kind of go back and either like wipe it clean or just not have this in. And it's even funny that, you know, of course, it's going to kind of dodge true canon content. But then also the main part of the kicker here of the duel between Obi-Wan and Vader, the Dark Lord, now rebuilt with cyborg machinery, confronted Kenobi as the Jedi was returning to the Falcon. After decades, Vader finally squared off against his former master as a diversionary tactic to help the others escape. Kenobi sacrificed himself to Vader. Dark Lord struck the Jedi down, and Kenobi became one with the Force. Left behind no body, just empty robes with his own Jedi weapon. So it's kind of funny. Like I keep reiterating, the great thing of Star Wars is the one thing that they can stay consistent at is being inconsistent with their own story, with their own canon.
So that article right there just said that they hadn't fought for decades, and then Disney, this show is supposed to be what, how many years after?
They said 10 years after. But I mean, so it's decades. It's plural, so it's meaning more than just one decade.
So it makes that leads one to believe, and I could be wrong,
and saying finally squared off against his former master.
Right.
That again, it's all right there. It's again, like I said, it's funny. The one thing that they can remain consistent at is their own inconsistencies with their canon, with their storylines. You'd think they would have either taken this stuff down or already tried to reword it, go into it, change things up. So when people go looking for this, they wouldn't run into it. Or, I know that they want to keep certain things quiet. I get that.
Do you think
At
they're
the
just
same
so
time,
do you think they're clueless?
Clueless to their own content?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. At this point, I'll say yes.
Like,
because they certainly aren't going out of their way to keep things on a certain level,
right. But again, that goes back to like, we've talked about it on a few different episodes where it's like, I've talked to people where it's like, well, because nobody like the characters didn't explicitly say that like the last time they fought was on Mustafar, that leaves the door open for many more fights to have happened leading up to now these 2 fights that are going to take place in Kenobi.
That's people trying to stretch it out and trying to hope that it doesn't, there's nothing concrete there,
right?
When again, all the try using just some basic logic, it's like none of that makes sense, because then the Empire probably would have been hunting Obi-Wan down for some time, trying to find him.
It's just one of the I mean, honestly, like I've talked to a few people, but it's like there's a common argument, if you can even call it that, amongst people that follow Disney Star Wars. Yeah, the mouse. They're like, well, that leaves it open. But yeah, it's so stupid because they're like, well, did Obi-Wan say that the last time they fought was on Mustafar? And then they take that and they say, because of that, then that leaves it open.
Because what he didn't explicitly say, that's what he
because I didn't leave you,
burning alive on Mustafar. You don't have to. I mean, it's what the part of the showing don't tell sort of thing. It's like you don't have to tell us everything. That's the problem with a lot of
maybe he didn't want to relieve
they're overly telling us. Yeah. What the little bits of dialogue was more than enough to give you an idea of, yes, they fought. They had a pretty probably epic fight at one point. We don't. I mean, that was the last time they saw each other. Now they're finally back. They're at each other's. They're at the peak of their skills, abilities, and whatnot. Now they're finally getting to test each other, basically. Obi-Wan, though, kind of has a bit of an alternative motive because he's trying to also keep Vader off of Luke and his team of trying to get Leia and get off the Death Star.
Yeah.
So, it's still them getting into it, and you don't.
Some things are better left unsaid.
Some things are better left unsaid, absolutely, and also it's just just keeping it simple. You don't need. It's like with like I've seen with some of the comics nowadays is where they have like like a whole page basically. It's completely wasted. There's no detail. There's just like 3 characters, and then the largest bubble of text taking up the whole rest of the page of just basically word salad, just all vomited out onto the page with
no art, all text.
It's just they want it like it's a sad thing, right? It's like basically there's no it's not even a slightly intelligent audience. They're all just dumb, just complete dumb fucks. Yeah, and they need it completely explained to them of, oh yeah, Mustafar, well, we fought then. Now we're back fighting after all this time. No.
Well, one of the greatest things, like I remember growing up watching A New Hope, and when he says, when he talks about like the last time, he quotes, last time, I was but the master now, or
last we fought, you were the master. I was the apprentice. Now I'm the master.
So that line itself right there, and this is why I just think George is just brilliant, right? Because there's such a short sentence can lead you to wonder like what happened.
It makes the imagination just explode of possibilities of, oh wow, that what was it, such a circumstances that these two parted What was it that went down, and made it for decades that they never encountered each other again till now. So no, it's pretty. Did you drop out there? It would seem Hitman maybe has gone a little, having a little technical difficulties on his side. So while he's trying to get that possibly worked out or caught up, and maybe it might be on, I don't know. I don't think it's on my. Oh, there he goes. Now he dropped out. So I'll start to bring up what he had sent me. So when he gets back in here, we'll be ready to start talking about this because, and I guess I can't. You can't. I don't know if I'd want to say you fault the fan art people out there that are just that are putting things together in their own heads on what would look good. But instead of, I guess this also, and like it is, this is a picture that is of the and he's back.
Am I back? Hold on, my camera's on. Well, maybe.
There you
go. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Quite the technical difficulties.
God, today's just stupid. All right. Anyways, what were I don't even know when I got cut off, but what was the last thing you heard me say?
I was just I kind of forgot now. We were just kind of still going on with the, we were talking, the way, just the lines of Vader saying, when, I was but the learner, now I am the master, and it sparked the imagination and all that sort of stuff for what the possibilities were for how these two left each other, however it was, and how long it was.
Yeah. I just think that's the brilliance of George. Like he, just using a short sentence like that to allow everybody's imagination to run wild. And that to me, the way he did it was more rewarding than saying, "Oh, last time I saw you was on Mustafar when you left me to burn to death." So, anyways, yeah, that's. But again, yeah. So just an argument and that's like the only arguments that they use, for that, which is just like get a better argument. Really, like if you're gonna like sit there and argue with me, like come up with something better than like, oh well, because he didn't explicitly say it means that like therefore because he didn't.
I just think it's all right there in the dialogue itself. It implies all it needs to imply that they haven't met in some time.
To your point, they need everything spoon fed to them, and you have to write it down and spoon feed it to them for them to get it. Like
exactly.
It's like anyways. Yes, this article. Did you send this or did I send this to you? Because I lost.
I know I've seen it, and this is just some people's own little fan art that they're putting out there for the Ahsoka show.
I didn't know if it was fan art or if this was. I don't know if
I'm pretty sure this is because it says art by Trickster Designs.
Okay, I missed that. I missed that part. But
you were just focused on the image itself.
The Thrawn. That's the only thing. Like I saw Space Aladdin like about 45 seconds.
Right.
And by 45 seconds, I mean 45 minutes of just throwing stuff at my house because I was so mad at this. Look at this Thrawn. Like.
I'm wondering who that's supposed to be. Who they used for who's supposed to be Thrawn. I can't. It
looks like a younger Gary Oldman.
Huh.
Like a very young.
I guess I could see that. Yeah.
Very young, skinny. Prior to him doing The Darkest Hour, Winston Churchill. I don't know. It's just terrible. It's
He
like,
just looks. He looks very goofy though. It's kind of funny. I thought he ended up. To me, it looked like a young. I'm getting his name really quick. So it's not coming to me. Robert Patrick, the guy that played the T-1000 in Terminator 2. Like that's who that looks like to me.
That's almost better than Gary Oldman. Maybe that's who I was thinking of. I don't know.
I mean,
Regardless,
both are good choices.
yeah. So that was one I was.
No, it like I said, it's just if people are. I mean, I guess hey, good for them. They're excited. They're looking forward to this.
And then does Space Aladdin? Does he have a holocron? Is that what he's looking at? And what is like?
Looks like yeah, because they were getting into some of that with the holocrons and stuff, and in Rebels, and also one of the messages that was sent out by Kenobi about warning the rest of the Jedi to stay away from the temple and stuff like that. And that's what, at least the thing. I don't know if it was a holocron exactly, but it was certainly something that was given to Ezra by Kanan that had that message, and he basically took in all his stuff. And I think there was even an Anakin holocron too, but I've watched that series. So
Rebels?
No, yeah, for Star Wars Rebels.
You're a better man than I am. I didn't watch it.
I
have a feeling you're going to make me.
And we might. It all depends. No, I mean, yeah, it's like I was trying to give it all a chance and stuff like that, but good Lord, it's just no.
Did we cover the last episode? Did we cover Hayden Christensen? What motivation he found, or where? Did we cover that one where like what he did to prepare for his?
No, I don't think that it exactly dropped when that came about. But yeah, I know. Yeah, you had that here.
It wasn't. I don't think it was technically an article. Like it wasn't an interview, but it was. I think. Forget who posted it, but that was. I can send it to you.
No, I grabbed it from the Discord. Yeah,
nice.
When you started, yeah. So I guess via EW, Entertainment Weekly, they had talked about Hayden Christensen prepared for his role in Obi-Wan Kenobi by watching the Clone Wars and Rebels.
So my question is this: so like, why Rebels? And then what? I think I was talking to he's gonna hate me for saying this, but Daviasu, I think he said because these events are supposed to take place during Rebels. Is that a thing? Is it not a thing?
I'm gonna guess, if anything, it'll take place before Rebels, and if they go beyond it just being a quote-unquote limited series for Obi-Wan, I could see them running into Rebels timeline.
Yeah.
Because the whole Rebels timeline is also supposed to be taking place pre A New Hope.
Rebels does take place pre New Hope?
Yes.
Okay.
It takes place before that. And I could see them maybe intersecting with it at some point. Because in Rebels, they did have an episode where Darth Maul and Ezra were both on Tatooine seeking out Kenobi.
Yeah.
And that's where then also probably one decent thing that came out of that whole series was that final battle between Kenobi
Obi-Wan
and Maul.
Yeah.
And I'll give it credit. It was a good little moment. But otherwise, I could maybe. But the thing is like he just kind of after taking out Maul, he then kind of dropped Ezra back off and left him to back to what he had to do in the freaking taking on Thrawn and then using space whales to defeat Thrawn. Um,
How dare you say that?
I'm sorry, it was what they did.
Besmirch Disney like that.
So yeah, I mean, but then there's also the big part is also Vader's, of course, chasing after them at times, but that was at least the one thing they did right too, was they used Vader very sparingly,
right?
So they didn't quite ruin his character at all. They still kind of, I mean, they kind of like
this might piss some people off. I have about 13 books that Hayden could have read that would have prepared him better than watching Rebels. Again, the argument can be made, well, Jay Hitman, you've never watched Rebels, so you can't make that comment. I'm like, well, you're right, I haven't watched it, but I'm probably confident in betting all my paychecks for the next 10 years that it's probably not as great as these books or act.
I'll already say these books for I'm only on the second one and kind of part way through it. These have already been much more interesting for. I'm guessing you're talking about the last Jedi.
Yes, Kenobi, 100%.
Kenobi. No, it's definitely been a lot more interesting for what they've set up in those books, and especially with the aspect that in the book 2, it's where Kenobi's like, oh shit, Polis Massa got mentioned by the Inquisitor.
Right.
We got to head there now, because that has they have the information there about Luke and Leia's birth.
Right.
And what happened with Padme there. So we got to get there and make sure that information doesn't fall into their hands and gets back to Vader.
And it's such a great, beautifully done. It's beautifully written, right? When you read it, it's like kind of like an crap moment. It's like Obi-Wan.
It's like a young adult novel and stuff like that. It's still pretty well done.
He's probably got. He's probably have diarrhea right now when he finds out they know about Polis Massa. Like this crap moment, like you drank too much Carillion ale, you got to get
got a little case of the mud butt. He's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a teenage Boba Fett's being relentless, is relentlessly chasing after them to bring them in as a bounty. So
I just say Clone Wars ruined that for me, because as I read the book, all I could see is the character from Clone Wars, the Boba from Clone Wars, the kid. I was like, God, I can't get this out of my head. I just want to enjoy this part of the book, but I can't, because all I see is the animated Boba kid.
I've heard people talk about something very similar to this, like especially like when it comes to the original trilogy and knowing where Luke is gonna go and stuff like that. But I don't know what it is, but for me, it's like I've been able to just very much separate it.
Have you?
I have, and we're like, yes, I know in the Disney canon, in their shit tier canon, yes, Luke is basically a failure, pisses off from the rest of the galaxy,
thumbs his butthole drinking titty milk.
Yeah, and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, that's their side of things. However, before they went and ruined it all, Luke was actually very much he wasn't perfect, but he certainly was still his character and worked his ass off to rebuild the Jedi Order, have this new Jedi Order, and along with training his nieces and nephews, and
even the Luke of Jedi Outcast. I mean, even that's the Luke. This is.
Well, I was replaying when I got to the part, because I'm replaying it too now.
Yeah,
and I got to that part where I ran back where you go back to Luke, and it's like, oh my God, this is so refreshing to.
This is the Luke that we know.
Yeah. So and it's definitely something that for me, I'm not letting them take that away. To me, Luke, yeah, he went through his trials and tribulations and stuff like that. And if anybody hasn't, I think I mentioned this last week too, was the was open airlock policies a conversation with Brian Cannell of RK Outpost. They talked about the Yuuzhan Vong War and that series of books. And it was I had done some reading on it, but just hearing them talk about it was just that much more enlightening instead of going through a Wikipedia page on it. And it was like, just the way they talked about what Luke was kind of struggling with to make certain decisions to be more either action oriented and stuff like that, and how all these events just really helped form. Basically, like they said, Luke went full god tier by the end of this whole thing and was just a complete badass Jedi that even started shooting green lightning or whatever. And I don't know the full context of that, because to me that still seems a little weird. Lightning, the whole Force lightning still seems like a dark Jedi sort of, dark Sith sort of thing, just from what we know of that. But I'm sure with the context of those books, it's a lot better explained. And one of these days, I'll have to find that collection of them and go through them. But that's
this is the raw say, and I stand by it. It's a hill I'll die on. Anybody who can win over Mara Jade and marry her is a winner of my book.
Yeah, a woman that had the Sith Emperor always in her brain, telling her to kill Luke Skywalker, kill Luke Skywalker. And she kills a clone, and she's like, "Hey, we'll bang, okay?"
Yeah, and if that comment doesn't entice you enough, then go read the Thrawn series, because she is a firecracker.
Oh yeah. Oof. And that's what I loved with the audiobooks with the anniversary release.
Oh, the 20th edition.
Yeah, because that one's great because they add in music from Revenge of the Sith.
So
which was fantastic because then when Mara was kind of confessing things to Luke when they were in the jungle and trying to get through that, she's explaining just the whole kind of backstory between her and Palpatine. They're using, I think, like the same music when Anakin and Palpatine were in the opera theater or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm it just gives you goosebumps.
So funny story. I bought the 20th edition book.
I did too, yeah.
And
the book.
So I bought the book and then I bought the audio. So I was able to read both. Yeah. So I read both, and to your point, like, beautifully done. It gives you chills, like, at least for me, because if you don't know about me, like, I love, like, Palpatine's my boy. I say it all the time. Palpatine's my boy. She's my boy. The Sheevmeister, right? So, but that scene in the opera was so profound.
Yeah.
And beautifully done, and just the brilliance.
That's why I wish they would at least recompose.
We got to go to Celebration. We got to sneak in and figure out a way to get Sir Ian Dermid to do Plagueis book.
Right.
Like, I think we can come up with maybe
between the Plagueis book and the scene between from Revenge of the Sith.
Oh,
him and Mace Windu and the Jedi that come to arrest
treason.
him.
Yes.
Yeah, well, just when after just to see him after he kills the other three Jedi, just kind of does the whole whisper, this kind of like keep quiet, brings his finger up to tell
and just
keep quiet, and then using the Force to flick off the recorder, and just was like,
or how about
you can tell he's like, that's the way it's described. He's gonna have so much fun.
Oh, or how about like where he's got his lightsaber, the hilt of his lightsaber. Is it in the painting or the statue? He's got
statue.
Is it the statue?
Yeah.
Oh, like talk about like just
he's
and like,
holding on to it like an old friend meeting again.
Because like I think he not. I want to say like he thought lightsaber, like he was a brilliant duelist, but like it was just beautifully done, man. Just beautifully done. But yeah, so point I'm trying to make is, if you don't believe that, like, go read those books. Is Mara Jade, like, future ex-wife?
No, it was definitely. I mean, it got set up brilliantly.
It was so frustrating. It was like, how can you, like, and again, you and I are on the same side of the. We're on the same side of the. We're on the same side of the coin or whatever. But it's like, how can you not enjoy these books? Like, please, somebody come up with an argument against.
It's for one.
It.
Yeah, it's also just the aspect of not only just enjoying the books, but going, God, how could you fuck this up so badly and not use this material to adapt, to put into, be the new trilogy or something like that.
It's almost like
they could have been a whole new trilogy.
It's like they want out. They it's like their mission is to outdo the books. Like they're so
they were so arrogant, and that was part. And we're going all over the place now, but
I know.
But it was part of their arrogance of thinking, yeah, we'll kick it all to the legends. Oh, it was so inconsistent itself. There was no continuity. George didn't care. Blah blah blah. We can do it better. We'll actually have everything so well connected and blah and whatnot that they tried and failed and then started looting the EU canon for characters, and for storylines and stuff like that. And this is like, because then like I keep saying, they're so inconsistent with their storylines. Even like it was with Revenge. What was it? Rise of Palpatine. Everybody was just like ripping on it on the trailer that came out. It was like, what? They got jetpacks? They could fly now? But it's like, dude, yeah, in your own freaking comics, they had them flying with jetpacks. Where were you? where was your writers for keeping this Where's your story group that's supposed to be keeping on top of this, Mr. fucking Pablo Hidalgo and shit? All them. Where are they?
Graduated MIT with an MBA of
where's Filoni? Filoni, who's been on set for all these things, he learned he got like tips or whatever from Rian Johnson. But we see he clearly so no,
but it's like, and I posted something. I think I posted this. It's like they destroy established characters and steal from.
Oh no, they're not destroying. They're just deconstructing them.
Well, it's
bringing them into the new age.
They're destroying them. They're destroying established content, and therefore calling the very content that they destroyed now their established content. Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think I tried to tag Star Wars, OG Star Wars in it just to get her comment on it, but it's just so irritating, so stupid. Like, how can you be so stupid? Like, you graduated MIT with an MBA of cluelessness, and then you get hired at Disney.
I like that.
And don't get me started on Pablo Pigo, whatever his name, Pasco. What's his name?
Pablo Hidalgo. He's like the guy that's kind of either in charge of or part of the story group that's supposed to be maintaining their continuity and lore.
Let's get him on the show because I want to eviscerate him. He's an idiot.
Oh, please. Nobody would touch him.
Can we get him on the show?
We would only be able to get maybe other people on the opposite side that do podcasts too. And it just probably turn into a shouting shit show.
Well, we would.
But it could be fun.
Civilized. We're no. It's just, I can't even. I'm like word vomit, but.
No, I know what you mean though. It's pretty frustrating, especially when it's like.
Have you?
I
was gonna say. So I was. Have you seen or looked at any of these new High Republic books and like the Skywalker family that was done by that Beaver lady, Karen Beaver, Brever, whatever?
I've only seen them get released. I have not. I haven't read any of them, or I haven't gotten any of the audiobooks for them or anything. I have not touched that series. I've only caught that one comic, but I didn't buy it. I found it
Crimson
online.
Tide.
I think I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it was that one, but it was just that one where it's the Jedi Padawan or whatever uses a lightsaber that stops herself midway and crap like that.
I don't want to touch on this before we dive into Mandalorian, but I find it very interesting. I want to get your thoughts on this. So I've posted a lot, and I know OG has posted a lot. There has been a lot of obviously like High Republic books coming out, High Republic comics. They even got the Halcyon Star Cruiser comics. I actually was in the comic book store and I ran out of toilet paper and I debated using that comic book.
Hey, can I use this?
Yeah, but then I was like, I don't want that anywhere near me. So then I just walked out with monkey butt. But there seems to be a lot of these reimagined titles, or what did OG call
the Legends books with
yes.
the new covers.
Yes. So I have seen at least the last couple months, not even a couple months, last month, like I was going to the local bookstore and I've just seen a lot of these High Republic coming out, and then they're doing this reimagined covers. The Essential Legends, I think, is that what they're calling it? The Essential Legends books?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
But now it's harder and harder to find the original artwork, the original books.
Right.
And now they're flooding the bookstores with these reimagined covers. And I wanted to get your thoughts and kind of talk about this and see like your thoughts on it. Are they just reimagined covers? Or are they changing the story? Because I've not read any of these new reimagined but I'll just say, for lack of a better term, the books, the covers, because I don't know if they've changed the story. But it's just interesting that it's harder and harder to find the original artwork books, like the original books, cover art. But it's more easily what's the word? It's more accessible to find.
Easily accessible.
To find the newer stuff. So, what are your thoughts on these dog water covers? And well, that's my opinion on it. What are your opinion? What is your opinion on it? And like, what are your thoughts?
So my belief, my understanding is that they aren't changing the story because, I would only imagine the backlash that would create alone for any kind of changing of the storylines.
Right.
For the book covers, oh God. So the book covers themselves, from what I've seen of all of them, and like the ones I just showed, they come off a lot lazier, a little less imaginative. Even like how they OG points out here, Asani Isard, they make her look younger in the new X-Wing. I think it's Kratos Trap, book 3. Yeah, Rogue Squadron series.
Did they change the name? Was it?
No, it's still Asani Isard.
Okay, but is it the
Asani? Yeah, Asani Isard.
But did they change the name of the book? Because I thought OG said it was originally like it's supposed to be X-Wing, and then they changed.
Oh, maybe they changed. I still hate the rename series. It's X-Wing series. Oh, so they changed the name of the series.
Which, if they're changing the name of the series, is there potential that they're changing the books, or they're adding? Are they retracting? What do you call it? Is it redacting? Redacting certain parts of the book.
Plots.
Are they?
I couldn't imagine that they would do that. Renaming them is one thing, but like changing the core storyline and stuff like that for these books, that, like I said, would just kind of be. I mean, I know that they're Disney and they don't give a crap what happens, and they'll do whatever the hell they want. But I mean, releasing these titles as the Legends titles and everything only leads me to believe that they're trying to maintain still that core audience to read at least these books, to buy these books and stuff like that. Give the people the option to check them out if they so desire. So
you don't think that they would change anything in the books, even if it's the slightest detail? Because I have a theory on this, and people are going to call me a conspiracist.
I say no. But at the same time, I can't help but kind of back up and kind of go, well, it wouldn't surprise me if they did, because that would just kind of show their further contempt for original lore and stuff like that. The EU that still holds such a special place in a lot of people's hearts. That this is, to them, this is canon. There's nothing else.
So I want to tell you
So
this, and then you tell. Well, finish your thought, but I want to
yeah,
say this, and I want to get your thoughts. Basically, tell me if I'm crazy or not. So
and so basically, and then for like the covers themselves, like changing the covers, my belief on that, and I'm guessing it's probably true, is that they don't want to pay royalties to the artists and stuff that did the original covers. So they change it to something that, and this is what Disney's done, even with like Marvel and stuff like that, is that they're trying to use characters and stuff like that that they own, that they don't have to share. So by changing up the book covers and stuff like that, rebranding them with a new title, that means it's theirs. It's theirs to own. They don't have to, share it or whatever. So that's my thoughts on that.
So my theory, and this is where you tell me, J-Ham, man, you're just a crazy old hermit and conspiracy theorist, but if they're going as far as to change the artwork,
yeah,
and let's say naming of the books or book, whatever, like OG pointed out, could they go as far as to change certain details in the book that could change continuity or swing continuity in the direction that they want the story to go? So like so you laugh, like let's say key details in Plagueis.
I'm laughing because it's like, oh my god, I could, again, like I just said,
because
I could see, while I would say no, that they wouldn't try and change this because they're branding it as Legends.
Right.
Branding it as Legends, so that means it's meant to stay to that continuity, is to stay to what they kicked aside and didn't want any part of.
Right.
So that's the one part of it. On the other hand, I could see them, like you say, changing details to lead it into their series, and therefore just kind of, like a symbiotic parasite absorbing it for their own, and then maybe eventually somewhere down the line, suddenly that Legends tag goes away, and suddenly it's part of the canon, their canon.
I said this a couple episodes ago. I think you laughed at me, not in a disrespectful way, but I know the comment that, like, what if they do? There's so much deconstructing going on right now within Star Wars that I made the point. Like I said, I wonder if they're going to redo 1, 2, or 4, 5, and 6. Like,
we've taught. Right? I think we. I don't think I laughed about it really. I was. Other than maybe, I see that happening. I mean,
how do you?
That's what I think I mentioned last episode.
Yeah,
where they were potentially like there was some news a while back, and I should have looked it up. But there was some news a long time ago about them hiring people that resembled the Han, Luke, and Leia for their younger days. Now that could have been for some of this deep fake tier facial stuff to change actors to look like the younger versions of Hamill and everyone. So, but I know there was a lot of speculation going around of, are they going to start redoing the original trilogy? Are they going to actually maybe adapt something like the Thrawn trilogy?
Yeah.
Or something like that, So I remember when that was reported, and a lot of people were kind of going, "What's this going to mean? What will this mean? What's going to happen?" So, it would surprise me if somewhere down the line it's called, we're gonna reboot the prequels and the OT.
This is why I believe. This is why I'm leaning. This is why this is where my brain's going with this, and this is why I bring it up, because collectively, right? Who you have us on one side who follow the true canon. Two opposites cannot be true. They both can't be true, right? So either one's true and one's false, or the other's false and the other's true, right? So obviously, what George created, that's true canon. You can argue all day. And as much as you want, but facts don't care about your feelings. What George created is Star Wars canon. Now Disney might have the rights to it, but you can't have two canon. You can add on, but what he established is canon. Go cry about it. Go suck your bottle and cry about it. I don't care, right? But so all they have to worry about is us, right? But whatever they produce and release and establish, the children of the mouse are going to eat it up, right? So if you
Right.
think about it, they could do it because everything they create, they don't have to worry about the children of the mouse arguing it. Like if they say that Luke Skywalker was Palpatine's grandson, they say like, "Oh yeah, that's true because yeah, Disney said it." Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
right? That's why I wonder like if they're and I don't want to give Disney credit. I think they're all stupid currently who work there. They all should be fired. But I don't want to say they're smart enough to do that, but it wouldn't surprise me if they could change details within these books so ever so slightly to where, you would really have to be like the Script Troopers, OG Star Wars, the Stick of the North, the Fractured, the J Hitmans to actually notice like, hey, like no, there's something different about
There's
this
something
book.
wrong here. Yeah.
There's something that smells fishy, right? So this smells like the inside of Vader's Durasteel boots. You know what I mean? To change
No,
that.
I do.
To establish their ultimate goal, which I believe is to destroy what George has created. Take the canon that was and is and make it their own. I could be wrong.
They've certainly been on their way of destroying George's original characters that he created and everything. We've certainly been seeing that for sure, and them getting replaced by newer versions or whatever.
I'm doing a tweet. I'm gonna DM OG and see if she thinks I'm just totally crazy because I think that like these are the things that keep me up at night, and these are the reasons why we do this show because like I just wonder like are they going with this? If you are going to change
here's even the thing the image that I have up right now. And I've shown you this before. There's the Star Wars, the hierarchy of canon.
Right.
You have the official canon, which is they have the G canon, the 6 Star Wars films. Now this one I disavow. The T canon, Star Wars, the Clone Wars. I disavow fucking Filoni's Clone Wars. Doesn't work. Not part of it.
Right.
C canon, which is all expanded universe books, comics, video games, etc. And that's the thing. They've brought character for some of the the later books of the expanded universe. They brought in Kyle Katarn,
right.
So he got adapted into the books too. S canon, some pre-Zon works and alternate choices in video games, and of course there's the non-canon, which we'll have to try Disney. We need to get one that has the mouse canon, all things made by Disney.
Right.
And then but for this is just non-canon, Star Wars Infinite and alternate endings to video games.
Yeah.
And there you go. They had their canon established. People knew what was and what wasn't.
Right.
So
with that being said, do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm a conspiracy theorist, or do you think that they're like it's not outside the realm of possibilities?
I full well see it within the realm of possibilities because again, like I said about the covers, they like to make sure they have things that they have ownership over that they can't lose or anything like that. So yes, I could very well see them going through and completely butchering, completely redoing, between the prequel, even the prequels, because then they would shoehorn in Ahsoka for Revenge of the Sith at some point. They'd even retcon the Clone Wars just to make it happen.
Right. I agree with you, though. I mean, you make a very valid point that essentially they could not want to pay royalties, but I think it goes a little bit further than that. I think they've stabbed George in the back, and they want to do as much turning as they can. So how do you do like those covers artists? I'm assuming worked with George. Like George approved the covers of these books, right? So that's just an extra shot at him to be like, hey. We're gonna go our own way and pay our own artists that work at Disney. You can tell. You look at these books, and this is someone could be like, "Well, you're just speaking in generalities or you're biased, whatever." You look at these covers and like, yeah, that's a Disney cover.
No.
This is a dog water cover.
I am biased. I will very happily admit I am such.
Yeah. You look at these covers and you're like, did Disney do this? Like, this is terrible. The Plagueis book, which is probably my favorite book. That artwork where he's sitting on the throne and you see that character that poorly resembles Immune.
Oh,
it's just terrible. It's terrible.
No, it is. It is.
Like the Kenobi, like even the Kenobi book that I recently, like I bought
the Kenobi book is very plain, like very very plain.
Like the Darth and the Bane books. Like, are you kidding me? This is like you.
Yeah.
This is the art that you come up with. Like, if I would rather pay the royalties to these artists because what they created was impeccable.
It was art. It was great stuff.
The whole reason why you buy these, like the Thrawn books, like you see the covers, and in my mind, right? I read the Thrawn books, and that the covers helps mold and helps you, like, you see Thrawn, and that's how you see Thrawn in your mind. You're like, oh man, look at this cover, like the red eyes, like that pierces your soul, right? And so, but you look at like some of these kind of like the Bane books, like this is a joke. This is the guy. This is Bane,
right?
That looks no better than Bane did in the Clone Wars,
right?
Yeah. So I'm off my soapbox. I just wanted to touch on that because I know OG had been talking there's been a lot of a lot of talk about these reimagined covers, and I just wanted to get your 2 cents on it because I think there's a bigger play at hand here, and again, I don't want to give Disney more credit than they don't deserve.
Right.
But I just wonder if this is Palpatine was very systematic, and he was a tactician, and everything. Like he had this plan, and he's very
patient.
Yes. So does Disney? Are they trying to take a play out of Palpatine's book to slowly deconstruct in a way that you wouldn't think that they're deconstructing unless
they're certainly going about things to try and push away people like us.
Yeah,
that have a love and a connection to George's work and to the work of people that built the EU in the manner that they did. They want to get rid of us. That's been very clear for some time, and that's why I'm happy to keep doing this because, I'll keep calling out their bullshit. I'll keep calling 100%. Out how wrong it is and how
you're employing
to use your word, dog water is of, so. Yeah, I mean,
I will go. I try not to buy a lot of stuff on Amazon, right? But I will go and I will spend. I told you we were talking earlier in the week before the show. My shopping cart for Amazon, I've got about 12 books of the Legends books, original covers that I'm willing to pay $70+.
Like you say though, in regards to them potentially, removing content or altering things to lead into their trilogy and stuff like that. That's why I'll scour eBay. I'll go on there and I'll try and find the original book.
I'll buy a book from a drug dealer. I'm not beneath it if you got an original book.
My point is like I don't want that Legends logo on there. I don't want the taint of the mouse on there.
No.
And so I'll have to, like it is. I've said this in other places, and I think I've probably said this on here. I'll just have to bite the bullet on also the fact that I may not be able to get all these books that I want to collect. I won't be able to because some of it's just gonna be like it is outside my price range because of how ridiculously expensive they get for certain book titles.
Listen,
so
I try to be
called
humble.
Oh well.
Yeah. I try to be as humble as I can. I'm no petty Betty, but I went and I cut, on the back of the Legends books, it has the Disney logo. I've cut that little square out. Not petty at all. I'm just saying I've gone that far. So every book that I have, and I've got quite the collection going on. Not like anything like OG Star Wars has, but they're all missing a little square.
Well, the only thing that I have that has that freaking Disney logo on there is the paperback of Revenge of the Sith, only because I got it cheap too. So part of the reason why
you're so lucky, you're a little shyster, man. You get all the deals. I don't know how you do it, dude. Like you found 1 through 9.
I got it on Amazon. It was
why do you know you got like 1 through 9 of the Last of the Jedi for like $19, and then
I got 1 through 10 for like 50 something.
Oh, was it 50?
But I mean, that's kind of after that's probably what all those books would have costed.
It's still a good deal because I went to look for the same books.
my
Yeah, go
point
ahead.
was that, I wanted to highlight different parts of this book, and I didn't want to ruin because I got the hardcover version of Revenge of the Sith. I didn't
Oh,
want to
did you really?
Oh yeah. I didn't want to
know that.
I didn't want to mess that one up, so I'd gotten this one for the eventuality that we might review the book.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted to, and that's why I was really glad when I was bringing up parts of this book during the Book of Boba Fett reviews, and I read out those couple of pages, and so yeah, I've been highlighting. I got little tabs that are sticking out for those pages.
Yeah.
That I would want to reference at any point in time.
Yeah. That's
otherwise, no, I don't.
That
that might be the only reason I would pick up a book like that.
Yeah,
is just to do this.
Well, and to that point, I need to do the same thing. So I need to go get another copy because I think I do have Revenge of the Sith. So that's a great call to do it. But I also am buying them because I don't know. Like eventually, I think they're just gonna one day you're gonna go into your local bookstore and you're not gonna be able to find them. There's gonna be
that's the thing that I've looked around our town, and there are some used bookstores around. And I've been meaning to start checking them out. I just been too lazy to do it.
Well, we're both
one of these days. We'll have to start hunting
this
them.
Week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we should do a poll. We should get a poll going on Twitter. I might do that after the show. Or during the show. Do a poll and see what people think. Why this is happening right now? Is it a royalty deal? Do they? I'm just curious to see what other EU enthusiasts like ourselves and those loyalists think. What's going? Because I think it's very ironic and seems very coincidental that High Republic they're flooding the market with all these High Republic dog water books.
They're really going whole.
They're going very hard with flooding the market with these books, and then these reimagined titles are just coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So something stinks. Something stinks like bantha fodder, and it's not me. So, well, without a doubt. Yeah.
What's that?
Is there any other? We got a lot of articles, but is there?
Yeah, I thought we didn't have anything, and I was like, oh wait, I got this.
Oh, I know.
There was one thing that I think I'll bring up before we.
The John Williams.
No,
no, not that.
Okay, that's.
Yeah.
But no, this again in the gaming realm.
Oh yes.
New Star Wars game revival of Visceral Games Project Ragtag based on Rebel Alliance era report. So I'll go off of this first paragraph really quick. According to a new report shared exclusively to Dual Shockers by Account NGT, the new Star Wars game is codenamed Project Walton. For the uninitiated, Account NGT is quite a credible leaker. So again, this could be all horseshit.
Yeah.
Credible leaker in the gaming industry with an excellent track record, and is the person who leaked Star Wars Eclipse details way before anyone knew about it. Coming back to the leak itself, it is further stated that the game is the revival of the Project Ragtag, which was being developed by Visceral Games before the studio shut down in 2017, and the project was canceled in 2019. And this was a project too that did kind of catch my interest because it was being helmed by Amy Hennig, and she has been in the industry for God knows how long at this point. I don't know exactly, but she was writer and stuff like that, and like producer, director for one of my favorite game series of all time is The Legacy of Kain.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, after she had done that, she had gone off to and do, like a lot of people know, was the Uncharted series. I'm not a big fan of the Uncharted series personally.
You're not?
I thought it was a little too popcorny, meh. The gameplay was okay. I just wasn't a big fan of it. I thought it was, in terms of like storytelling and stuff like that, I felt it was a little more of a step down than what Legacy of Kain was, just because of how much I love that series and just how well put together. I thought it was for time traveling vampires. So, and that's putting it to such a basic level. But and of course, then she was also a project director and stuff for the game The Last of Us. So with all that, and I'm sure she's had a whole bunch of other projects, but those are some of the main ones that I can think of. The idea of her being behind and working on a Star Wars game really piqued my interest, and I was like, oh, this could actually be something that would be really good and a lot better than what we got from Jedi Fallen Order. So it was definitely, and then it unfortunately went into development hell. EA, of course, being EA, eventually killed the company, like they said in this article, and the whole thing went bye-bye. And so there's been this sudden resurgence of news about this, that hey, we could be seeing this once again. Problem is, as far as I've been aware, she has not been exactly directly linked back to the project. So I'm still kind of waiting for some hardcore evidence that yes, if this is the project that she was working on and she's back on it, I'm game. Possibly. Yeah. I'll still put a qualifier, maybe. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to get some potential further news, because like it's been kind of a desert in terms of the game side, and it's been very meh.
What are your thoughts on the news that came out about Star Wars Eclipse? I think I sent you that article by Bespin.
The whole flip-flopping of where it was, it's going to be decades off. It's going to be now the project's actually doing a lot better than originally reported. What
are your thoughts? Is it just a facade? Are they just trying to do you think it's accurate, or are they just trying to
I don't know what it is exactly. It's like because it was suddenly reported.
The end of the.
It was almost like some damage. It's like they were trying to do some damage control. Like, no, don't worry. It's not actually like that. It's actually doing a lot better.
It's like, hey, we don't actually suck. We just suck less.
Yeah, we just suck a little less than what you were expecting it to suck.
Yeah.
So.
How can you go from like it's going to be released by the end of the decade to like, it's doing a lot better than we previously, like for you to come out and say like it's going to be the end of the decade, like you have a beta, you don't even have a beta, and that like
it doesn't even sound like they're in alpha stages. Alpha stages is the beta, just getting past planning. I mean, it's like they had nothing.
You haven't even reached beta.
They had a cinematic trailer. That was it.
Yeah. You had a trailer, and you're not even in the beginning phases of alpha. Like that's where you have to like to make that comment. Like, but then to come out and this was like we reviewed this like a couple episodes ago, like episode 10 or 9. Like it was one of the earlier episodes that I remember we talked about this. There's an article about like end of the decade's Eclipse and how and now they come out and say like, we're doing a lot better. Like, so what, like 8 years? Like, so you're at 10 or 12. So like, are you not like 9 years being released? 8 years? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Did they cut it in half? It's like,
like, so I thought
a lot of the times development times now a lot is 5 years.
Right.
And even then it's like you get to the game and you're like, you probably should have worked on this for another year or two. Right. So.
Well, it's just interesting because it's like, in COVID, so like for Call of Duty, and I could be somewhat wrong on my details, but I'm pretty sure like when Cold War came out, like COVID hit, and then I think these guys were basically they couldn't go to the studios, so they were working from home, and they still released it. Now, was the game great? No, by no means was the game great, but they were able to do it in less than 10 years. So like now COVID is on the decline, so what's your excuse? Why is it taking? How do you say like, by the end of the decade we'll have this game released? Like, what in the world is going on to where, I mean, like let's say 5 years. That's like fine, 5 years, but like 10 to like end of a decade. Like, what are you?
Come on, guys, what's going on?
Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, guy? Like, what's the problem?
I don't know. That whole Eclipse situation that was.
Can we
definite
just get another
dumpster fire.
Can we just get another? No, like this is. Have you seen that? You've seen that GIF I use. It's a dumpster fire floating down a street,
Floating down a street,
the highway. You know, but it's like, can we just get another Knights of the Old Republic game, like 3? Like, can we get something that's like enjoyable, or
I don't
Jedi Outcast? Another.
I don't trust anybody to make a good Coder 3.
There's no one you trust.
No, because of what they already did. Well, what they already did with Star Wars: The Old Republic, what they already did with in the Revan book and stuff like that. Yeah, Deceived was badass. I like that book.
Oh, I haven't read Revan, so don't. Is it bad? Is it bad? I love it. I love the game. I love KOTOR.
I have a lot of problems with that book.
So I bought it. I have the physical book. Do I read it or not read it?
Read it. So then we could probably talk about it and you can rage about it. I'm guessing. I'm guessing. I don't know. I have a lot of problems with that book. And then Star Wars: The Old Republic, the storylines that... I mean, it was pretty obvious that they were going to involve Revan in some form or another. The way they got him into that storyline and then just what they did with him just felt like the pre-stages of deconstruction of characters prior to Luke, before Disney really sunk their teeth in.
Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
I'm sorry. It's true. It's
no, I know. Oh.
They just kind of turned him. They made him go full retard.
In Revan,
yeah. So
I'm going to channel my inner Malgus right now.
So between the book and then the game, I'm just like, well, fine, F you too. I don't want you guys touching this stuff anymore. Knock it off. And especially, it does make me upset because I would love to see and that's the thing. We have a KOTOR 1 remake out there. That's supposed to be coming along. And last I had heard, wasn't exactly, they weren't picking their best to be working on it. So I have next to zero hopes for that. I'm more than happy to keep playing the original game at this point. Yeah. I'll just get some texture mods and
there's only 28,000 different ways you can beat the game.
Yeah, and I'll just get some texture mods and stuff like that and kind of soup up the game the way I want to, and I'll play it the way I want to play it, and I'm a happy camper. So, and I got Knights of the Old Republic 2 as well to do the same sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Then, and then that has the unofficial kind of patch for that game to add it back in a lot of the story content and whatnot that was cut from the game.
Now that I got my computer, you're gonna have to teach. We should do a training module on the show how to do the patches on the game, because I want to get I've not played SOTOR. I've downloaded it, but we should do that because I want to.
And then since you mentioned Jedi Outcast, they don't want to make a game like that, and that's a sad thing because that game was amazing. And what was
top 3 best games of all time in my humble opinion.
What was funny was I watched somebody's review of it not too long ago, and I'll try and find it.
Did Airlock do one? Who? I think I know.
No, I don't think it was Airlock, Open Airlock. It wasn't him. But I'm trying to scroll through my viewing history right now. Hopefully I can find it.
Because I think you posted something about it, or somebody posted a Jedi Outcast. Let me try to find it.
Because the cool thing was that in this person's review, one of the developers from the game that was working on the saber combat commented on it, which I was like, oh, holy hell, that's really cool. And he confirmed something that I know my brother and I always talked about, and was like, oh, they probably totally did this for the game, or at least was their inspiration. And I got so much crap I've watched. Come on, let me try and find this. Let me see if I can also type it in, because I want to get the guy's quote verbatim.
Yeah.
I think I just got it. Okay. No, this wasn't. Was this not it? Shoot. No. Dang it! I thought it was the right one because the comment was right at the top. Because of course the person's gonna tag that and keep that right there.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Gosh darn it! This is gonna annoy the heck out of me now because it was. So basically, what the developer ended up confirming was that they had used the video game's Bushido blade as kind of their inspiration or template for what they wanted to do with the lightsaber combat, and that's why it is that you actually hit somebody with the lightsaber and they're down, like it's actual one hit kill versus like in Jedi Fallen Order, you're hitting them with like a wiffle ball bat, basically.
Right.
It wasn't anything like that. It was like it is with Jedi Outcast. It's visceral. It's you and then especially if you make sure you put in a dev code, you can then start lopping heads off, which is freaking awesome. So that's the thing though. Sadly, we're not going to see we don't have developers like that probably played those old games. They've played God of War and all the beat 'em up hack and slashes, Devil May Cry. So they have no idea that for like a sword fight sort of thing, for lightsabers especially, these things should be basically one hit killing, especially when you're getting those good hits. And then like it was the slight saber combat between you and the Sith that you, or the whatever you want to call them, the Revenant or Remnant Dark Jedi.
Right.
They put up a good fight, and you have to be just as careful on hitting them and not getting hit from them, because they can end you just as quick as you end them.
Right.
So I mean it's just a shame that we won't.
You think we'll ever see a good Star Wars game again?
I mean, at least a game like with the saber combat like that. No,
you talking about on the same level of Outcast, Academy, even like some of the I know
like some Knights of the Republic.
Well, even stuff. Like some of the Nintendo 60, like Shadows of the Empire, like on the same level of like like I could play this for hours and not get tired of it. Probably not, because those games were based off canon, and Disney will never do that. Like you look at even the artwork on Jedi Outcast, and you just feel like I've used this example before, like Bespin, like you feel like you're on Cloud City.
Yeah.
No,
the way I look at it is that we're not going to get the same people with the same level of commitment, the same level of passion and enthusiasm for these properties, at least legitimately, that are going to be working on these sort of games. You're getting people that are more just like, oh, I want the clout of I worked on a Star Wars game. This will look great on my resume.
Right.
Shit like that. It's not getting those people that either like us grew up with the original trilogy and everything and really want to, go off of that.
Right.
And build and put together a fun experience and just a, either in-depth story or just a fun one that gets you involved in the Star Wars universe. And it just doesn't have the same oversight. It's also fragmented now too, because now it's like not only is it, I believe, EA that's going to be making these games, but it's also like now they've kind of licensed it out to other other companies.
I thought EA screwed the pooch so bad they lost the rights to Star Wars, or was that
I
am
just think
incorrect?
they lost like exclusivity.
Exclusive.
I
Okay.
think that's what they lost. I
Like,
could be I'm possibly wrong on that.
I feel like Battlefront was a pretty okay game, and then Battlefront 2 was just dog water.
I didn't like Battlefront 1 because to me they had the template from the 2005 Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Battlefront 2 EA. It just the story was a bait and switch.
Yeah.
Because they were like, "Oh, you're going to play as an Imperial character. You're going to get to do things from the Imperial sides of everything."
Right.
And like what, 5 missions at most or so, you're switching over to the Rebellion. Yeah. Oh, fucking yay. There's my Imperial story. Yay. It gave you that, it gave like people that slight glimmer of, oh, they're going to do something different for once. No,
right.
Same old.
Right.
So,
well, I was just curious like what your thoughts were if we'll ever see one. And I mean, I want to hold out hope, but I don't think so because they'll never.
No, I'm definitely for the video game end of it. I mean, for a lot of this, I'm just so freaking cynical about it all that I just see it as just being nothing but a dumpster fire that'll come from it. It's not going to have the same love and passion. And like it is, the soundtracks too have just been very mediocre at best.
You haven't know if I'd say mediocre.
No, they were just complete trash.
I was gonna wait to post. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
They're just complete trash because like it is, they don't even do the smart thing of what the old games did and just use the soundtracks from the movies.
Right.
They don't even do that. And I understand you want to create your own feel and everything, and so you want your own music. Okay, yeah, Coder did that to a degree, but they kind of remastered, redid a lot of the music.
Right.
That was the same music, but at the same time had a different sound to it, and it really helped with the atmosphere and the place, the planets that you were playing on and everything. I thought it was fantastic. But it's funny when I re-listen to it now and I'm like, oh yeah, they were sampling some of the old music and giving it a different coat of paint.
Right. So but it's still, really, really like.
But it still
good to listen to. Yeah.
It still felt like some music that would be part of the Star Wars universe instead of just kind of very generic sounding orchestrated music.
I was gonna wait. I was gonna post this earlier in the week, but I've been listening to Shadows of the Empire, the soundtrack, and I was gonna call you out on it.
So good.
It's beautifully done. Like one of my favorite so far. My favorite song on that album is the Destruction of Shizuo's Palace.
Oh yeah.
And but it's like, well, I don't think we'll ever see that. Like, it just feels like I was listening to it, I was like, man, like. And I had to really remember like playing the game, but it's like you just feel like it immerses you into like you feel like you're in Star Wars, and I don't think we'll ever see that again from.
And think about that. That was a big like multimedia project too, because that was first and kind of foremost, done for the book,
right?
That was being worked on, and then they have this soundtrack to accompany the book, and then they're developing the video game for both the N64 and PC respectively.
Yeah.
And then they just use that sound. They just use that music that they had created for it, and it worked perfectly.
Side note: can you still get Shadows of the Empire for PC?
Yes, on GOG.com they have it there. It's the only problem is trying to kind of like, especially if you wanted to use a controller.
Yeah,
it's really kind of wonky trying to set it up. You kind of have to jump through a little bit of hoops to get, and I wish they would kind of go back to it and tweak it to be a little more responsive to picking up the like Xbox controllers or whatever,
Right.
so that then you could more fluidly use it. Because otherwise, because I'd love to actually see old. I mean, I could probably go onto YouTube and
Figure it out.
go onto YouTube and watch the cinematic scenes that they did for the PC side, because on the N64 side they had to use game stills. Or pictures, which were great. The artwork for those were also really good. I think I found the
Post.
the video review, because it's called on YouTube. You can find it by Dark Lore Dash. The video is called "The Greatest Star Wars Game Lightsaber Battles," and so in the comment section, like it was, and this was from like a year ago, but in the comment section here, let me share the screen really quick. I'll zoom it in. So, oops, what are you doing? Stupid YouTube. There we go. So this is from Mike, and I'm gonna probably butcher his last name. Gamel. He said his comment here was, what a fun video. Entertaining and really well edited. I appreciate it. I did the lightsaber combat, force powers, Jedi AI, and some multiplayer modes for the Jedi games. Interesting what you say about the Kendo inspiration has some basis in fact. When first planning the combat in Jedi Academy, the game that was my most immediate inspiration was Bushido Blade 1 and 2. That game had fantastic sword combat where so much of it was changing stances, measuring up your opponent, and waiting for the right moment to strike. If you did that very well, you could end a fight in one hit. Our lightsaber combat wasn't quite that slow and tactical because of all the acrobatics, but that was the inspiration at least. And the 7 attack directions also worked perfectly for the 8 directions you could get with a keyboard movement keys. Oh crap! God dang it! My fat fingers hit the damn keys. So perfectly for 8 directions of the moving keyboards. In parentheses, it says our Jedi games were PC first, ported to consoles, where actually our 7 degrees of attack angles felt really fluid with joysticks. I felt well. I can't disagree because I haven't played them on the consoles. As for the force powers, that was totally me living out my Jedi fantasy and just messing with those hapless stormtroopers as much as possible. There's even a hidden mind trick level 4 that lets you completely take over an enemy as if you were playing them directly, run them around, make them shoot and attack, jump off a ledge to their deaths, etc. Good times, good memories. Thanks again. That right there. I mean, how cool is that? That you got a developer coming out and explaining it to the T of what went into that saber combat.
Right.
And again, we're not going to see that. We're not going to get that back because they just keep going to the current more popular gameplay styles. So yeah, the God of Wars, the Last of Us and stuff, where it's going to be duck and cover and all this sort of stuff. You're not, I mean, having like the cover mechanics can be kind of useful from like something like maybe since we talked about already, since I mentioned already, like Uncharted, like doing the gunplay. But at the same time, you need something with some more being more visceral. And then if you're going to bring the Jedi in, you need those lightsabers to act like the lightsabers. And that's always been the other thing. George, of course, since he's the one that created all of it, he knew exactly how they were going to be working. They, they chopped people up. They didn't just leave back scratches and stuff like that for people to stay alive. They were killing weapons.
Right.
So, and then like it is with like he says, use a game like Bushido Blade and still also kept in mind using the acrobatics of the Jedi to really make the fight that much more, I'd hate to say chaotic, but that's the first thing that kind of comes to mind, is to give you those extra actions to get around your opponent and stuff like that, to get those one hits or just the death hits in general. So, yeah, that's where I just don't see, for the game side of things,
we'll
that
ever
we're ever gonna get that again.
But I mean, that sucks. But to your point, like I'll keep playing Outcast. I'll keep playing KOTOR. I'll keep playing. I want to try to get Shadows in the Empire downloaded on my PC, but it's just sad though. I mean, really, what it comes down to is just it's sad that we'll never get a game on that level, But
yeah,
unless the people that originally made these games come back out of retirement and if they're even in retirement to do on themselves, but I don't think Disney will ever greenlight it because they're shysters.
They just kind of let the game side do their thing. It seems like they have seemingly light touch on that end.
Well, maybe there's still hope.
We'll see,
I don't
I guess.
know, though. I don't think so. But
no, neither do I.
Stupid.
Well,
shall we get into it then?
Should we finally get to the?
I've been stalling. I've been hoping that we just go over articles and not cover this dog water ridiculous episode because it's so painful. I say that a lot. I really do. I know that every episode I say, "Oh, it's so painful." This one was very painful. Like, I'm not even joking.
No,
like,
this one in particular really had the aspect of it being 100% a filler episode, where it didn't really serve much for the story other than some very light dialogue.
I could deal with a filler episode. This was just, I don't know what you'd call this. I don't know what to
I mean,
call it.
after the last episode and everything that went on in that, it's like, then you get to this episode and it's just like,
why? Yeah. I fell asleep multiple times, and it wasn't because I was tired. It was just because I didn't want to watch it.
Well, even it was funny. Davi also said this was a tough episode.
Which is saying a lot, because Davi also aligns more with, like, he's more, he's a Disney star.
He's a little more, yeah. He said that, yeah, that's the worst episode of Mando.
I won't disrespect him and call him the child of the mouse, because I do like Davi also, but he flirts the line.
I mean, at least when he's been on here, he's kind of come to our way of thinking a little
I know. Which I'm holding out hope. We're going to turn him.
He hasn't hardcore disagreed with us. I'm waiting for the right thing to spark.
Yeah. As Palpatine says, can he be turned? And then we'll say, he will join us or die. That's not to say we're going to kill him. Don't people go call the police and say, fractured and they're going to kill Daviaso. But I have hope. I'm holding out hope. Like, we're going to turn him. Whether it be a force choke or force lightning, one of the two. All right. Well, we're enough stalling. Should we dive into this?
Yeah, let's just get into this.
I gave you every opportunity to call it and be like, we're not going to review it, but
just skip the episode entirely. Just like, nah.
we got to. We're doing it for the fans. We have to do it for them, even though I don't want to do it.
All right, let's just get into it.
I'll give you one last chance.
Let's just pull the Band-Aid and do it.
Fine.
So getting into it. I thought they ended the last episode with him leaving Tatooine. I apparently forgot that he didn't.
I thought he did, but
yeah. So I was like, still on Tatooine. I thought he already left by the end of the last episode. Oh well, guess not. Rose, someone's got a trap waiting for Mando. They shoot, they score. Bounty hunter still after the Womp Rat. Dwarf bounty hunter takes a hit while Mando fights the other two. Mando does some scorpion action to knock out the two guys when he pulls the gun rifle or whatever, the rifle, and knocks the two guys out. Mando negotiates with the little terrorist. takes off his jetpack because the squat bounty hunter had Grogu at knife point. And then, of course, after some careful negotiations, the little squat man runs off with the jetpack, and then, of course, like it is nothing. I said nothing like a comedic death for the children to enjoy via use of a jetpack remote system.
Yeah.
He zips up into the air. He comes flying down to his brutal death, and then the jetpack lands away from him. I'm like, okay. And I guess it just goes back to what Mando said. The kids seen worse.
Right.
And then Mando now has the pack mule across the hot Tatooine desert, and manages to trek all the way back to Mos Eisley. Jawa molester is now going after Ant-Man. The Ant-Man is playing Sabak has information only if Mando pays in, and was played by the Jawa diddler. The contact that was mentioned needs transport and will only offer up the information for it. Then we get introduced to the weird frog lady. Which to me, it just looked like they took. I mean, I know it's just basically a basic. I don't know if I want to say basic, but just like a frog design and anthropomorphized it. I just couldn't help. I just couldn't help but thinking of Frog from Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Which then made me think, man, maybe I should start playing Chrono Trigger again.
You probably should. Probably look better.
So then it was. So yeah, you got anything for that first?
Yeah. So I wrote recap scene. Mando swoops in 4 against 1, still liking those odds. Mando trying to make a deal for the Womp Rat. I know I'm going to get called out for this. Don't care. Midget wants jetpack. Probably not anymore. Womp Rat has a case of RBF. And I just wrote, you're the little bastard that couldn't catch yourself. Just the opening scene. And I wrote, Mando the passenger. No, wait, the pack mule.
Yep.
Hey, no. And then I just wrote like, hey, no droids. We don't want their kind. Not really. I'm assuming that's the same cantina that was in A New Hope, since Filoni likes to steal everything and then make it his own. And then I just like I can't, dude. I can't do it. As I wrote this dialogue between Jawa Slayer and Mando, like I just it's just so irritating.
not digging it.
I was like, then I skipped a lot. I was like, the Womp Rat is a carnivore. And she said, did you bring any of that steak? Or what did she say? The steak?
Oh, yeah. She wanted the crate dragon meat, apparently.
I was like,
why? So then they were roasting it.
I was like, why?
Apparently, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's some good meat.
And then I was like, skank. She's like, skank in the skug hole pie. I'm like, skank in what pie? I said, what kind of pie? And then I'll just say this and let you go. But I was like, Jawa Slayer's, what I put? I said, Jawa Slayer's unidentifiable frog species dialect is on point. And by point, I mean stupid. So I just tried to research like what species this is. And I don't think, obviously, like, I don't believe it's canon because I could find nothing about if George Lucas had created the species. But on fandom, Wikipedia, it says unidentifiable frog species, verbatim quote. Because we don't want to offend PETA or anybody that wants to identify with a frog. I went there, don't care.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much. And then I'll let you. Did I catch up to you, or did I jump a little?
Yeah, you're basically up to me. I was saying. Okay. Then it was going into Mando's primarily against the trip due to the sublight travel because he can't travel at the speeds he wants to avoid capture. The cargo is the client's spawn, and the little Womp Rat already has eyes on the eggs and will end this creature's line if he sees fit. On the ship, Womp Rat has eyes on his victims. Even starts to use the Force to attract them towards him. Victim 1 is already down, or did he already have multiples? Who knows? Mando getting harassed by some New Republic X-Wings who are demanding to prove whether or not he's imp or such. Damn feds. Mr. Miyagi and Ahsoka Diddler have chased after Mando when he tries to book it. Mando managed to give the two government goons the slip with some fancy flying, and it sadly fell into an ice trap. Mando's had bad luck with his ship and the damn Wampa Rat. So that is, because now they're trapped in the ice caverns. Mando goes to check on the eggs and the Wampa Rat, which are both missing. Ruh-roh. Little bastard murders more. The roboid that was destroyed during the prison breakout is still there. The frog lady uses it as a translator. Mando tries to moralize that the roboid was a killer. Meanwhile, what's he? Oh, what the people he killed deserved it. And then Mando gets guilted and tries to play repair droid. Womp tries to get Mando's attention. Mando ain't having it and tells him to help out with the ship, but then wanders off.
Yeah. Let's see. That's pretty. I mean, that's a little close to what I had. So I put I start off with how does engaging into hyperspace kill eggs? Question mark.
Yeah, that was that wasn't really
no
fleshed out.
Yeah, Wampa really fascinated about these eggs. Wonderful moment between Frogget and Mando while Wampa wants hard-boiled eggs. Sick bastard, good way to eat. Or I was like, sick bastard, good way to get PETA involved. Morning alarm or ... Ah, yes, the New Republic. Thank goodness. What an engaging conversation.
Yeah.
I said, longest pause ever. Mando decides not today. Hightails it towards the surface. I said,
you know what's really stupid? Okay, so we know how Filoni's one of the pilots, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna bring it up really quick. Hang on. Oh shit! I'm gonna. Oh wait. All right. So what's really silly is that for that character who only makes his appearance, I think, in this episode in particular, because then they just use the Mr. Miyagi looking guy.
Yeah.
But Filoni there, his character gets a replica helmet made. Which I'm just like, are you freaking serious? Hang on, I'm bringing it up right now. It's like, seriously, his character that didn't even really get identified. But apparently, the Star Wars Black Series Trapper Wolf X-Wing pilot from the Mandalorian 1-to-1 scale wearable helmet. What do you want to bet Daviasto is going to get this?
How much do you want to bet he already has it?
I was just like, are you serious with this? He didn't even really get named in the episode itself, but they're like putting out his call sign and everything. As far as
it's Filoni, dude. He's a god, little G.
Jeez.
I mean, he's got his own Filoni. Well, they call it Mandoverse. I'm surprised they don't say Filoniverse, but this is just this scene here. I said Han did it better in Empire Strikes Back. Like Mando's trying to fly through all, the whatever. I just immediately thought of like Han did it better.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nap time's over. The coldest Easter egg hunt ever. I said, this Womp Rat is disgusting. Literally eating those eggs. You savage. Someone take him out permanently. And then this is like, sorry, lady, I don't understand frog. Neither do I.
Yeah.
I said, a smart frog we have. And then I jumped down to a frog. For a frog, she knows a lot about Mandalorians. To your point, I think you said she tried to bait him or guilt him.
Yeah.
And then this is just, again, like, make yourself useful. Quote, make yourself useful. All it's good for is eating and sleeping.
Basically.
And then I went down to, I think this is where we'll be caught up, but I said Easter egg hunt part 2, predator vision coming in handy.
Yeah, he's because the frog lady kind of disappears,
Yeah.
and he uses his predator vision to start.
I could be wrong. I just saw that. I was like, oh, Predator.
No, that's basically it. So yeah,
What do
he
you
starts
got?
him and the Womp Rat start hunting down the frog lady. They find her. Mama Frog managed to find a hot spring of some kind. Womp Rat is still trying to eat and commit genocide till he finds new victims. Without care or thought, Womp Rat starts eating a new set of eggs that also now begin to hatch to come for revenge. They just get bigger and bigger till Mama Spider is on the scene. Running time.
Yeah.
Mando tries using some bombs to slow Mama Spider and seemingly works, or did it? Mando remembers he has a flamethrower, having already used it to now blast away some bugs. Mama Spider's back with a vengeance and tears up the whole of the ship because like it vanished for like a quick moment. This is basically this is the big little action sequence besides what we got for the ship flying sequence. So yeah, the spider rips up part of the cockpit of the ship, and then is suddenly getting blasted off the Razor Crest completely. Who could it be? Somehow they managed to get 2 X-Wings into that cavern, and quietly enough for that big mama spider to not notice and get wasted. How the shit did they manage that? I'm like, seriously, like, so, I mean, I know they show at the end of the episode how they got in, but it was still like, they still had to go in, land, open the cockpits, and then get their blaster rifles and start blasting the shit out of this thing and its babies. And just by some miracle, the big mama spider doesn't at any point in time turn around before getting shot, hearing those ships flying. Because as far as I know, they don't have a stealth mode either to be able to pull off that sort of thing. Welcome back.
I just got an email from Disney.com saying if we don't stop besmirching their name, they're going to take legal action against us. So I had to respond to it.
Bring it. So yeah, like as I was just saying, is this, you know, it's so funny that they get these X-Wings into this cavern so quietly when I don't think they have any kind of, you know, stealth function or anything like that. But they managed to go through all those steps to be able to
very quiet, I might add.
That was my point. Is like they so sneakily got in and then started wasting the shit out of the big mama spider and all the little spiders. I was like, how the heck did they manage that?
Very, very.
Apparently, very sneakily. Mr. Miyagi goes into running the tags on the Razor Crest that seems to have an arrest warrant for the prison breakout. They may show how they got in, but doesn't explain. That's about getting in. Mando had asked for help, but the New Republic soldiers thought he was asking too much, as they told him to fix his transponder so they don't vape him next time they run across him. Wow, such upstanding individuals. Because then they were just basically going over the whole prison breakout mission.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, we noticed you're all part of that, and you locked away those other goofballs, and somehow they knew that they tried to help the Republic guy that was there, which I don't know how.
He's on camera.
I don't know if I don't know if like somehow they got, if either the people that they were locked up told him, or which I couldn't see them talking at all, but who knows?
That's what I did last night, by the way.
So then as Mando did some MacGyver tier fixes to the cockpit so they could make the rest of the trip to their destination. Womp Rat takes another look at the canister of eggs and had seemed to sneak one and sucked it down. Little monster. And that was where the episode had ended.
Yeah, let me see here. Hold on, I gotta get my notes. Pulling them up. So where'd I end off? I was like, this is where, God, Filoni just irritates. So Master's the Filoni of being full. Well, he's the master of stealing stuff, and he's just full of baloney. But I put hot spring scene, so stupid. Womp Rat is mad. Dad told him not to eat little eggs. Wanders off for a bigger frozen egg. Womp Rat eats nasty spider. Spiders want to eat nasty Womp Rat. And then,
as they should.
And then it's like, then we get to the scene. It's like, Hagrid, is that you? You're Aragog, aren't you? Scene. Oh, I said, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I was like, we've got this. Hagrid, is that you? You're Aragog, aren't you? Scene. From Harry Potter. Mando, Frogette, and Nasty Womp Rat try to outrun Aragog and his children. You have a pest problem, Mando. Burn them with fire. Mando decides to fly now, but not before? ? Aragog is not happy.
Not one bit.
Aragog just got vaporized by this. I chuckled. I'm gonna get in trouble. I said Aragog just got vaporized by Deborah Chow's dad in the New Republic. Mando tries to get help from the New Republic, and they bounce. Not very New Republic of them, is it?
No, they're not exactly as helpful as the EU version of the New Republic.
Right.
Is, but, yeah.
Mando begins repairs of his ship, or of the ship, I should say. Quickest repairs ever. And then, Womp Rat, you little nasty, stealing more. I said, Womp Rat, you little nasty, stealing more eggs. And then that's it.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, he was quite on the genocidal warpath there. He wanted to end that frog race if he saw fit. He wanted to end that poor lady, the little frog lady's line of children.
Well, and I misspoke earlier. So what it was. So it wasn't. I don't think PETA actually got it. I know there was a kerfuffle about the Funk. There was a Funko Pop that was released with Grogu eating the eggs, and that was what all the stink was about. Like they, I think, discontinued it for a while, and then they came back out with it. So there was definitely backlash from this episode because this little thing was eating all the eggs.
So stupid.
Yeah. So whether or not it was because PETA got involved, I thought I remembered hearing that PETA got involved with it, but I personally did not buy any of those Funkos because I think they're stupid, but I remember seeing it nonetheless. And all these people were like, it's how dare you? It's an extinct species, and you're gonna eat it. And I mean, literally, I remember reading this. Like, there were people
fictional characters. People,
no, when they have feelings.
Hang on. I don't care if this one gets me in trouble. I don't know if I'll be able to find it.
You're fine. You'll find something good.
To anybody out there that has seen Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, this encapsulates just that.
Talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters.
Yes.
Fruity at all.
Am I getting through to you at all? Oh, I mean, it's so. It really is just that. That's so what these goddamn people will get so in a tizzy about.
Yeah.
And all we're talking about is lore and continuity and keeping a story straight.
Right.
But over a stupid toy, a little plastic toy, and you're gonna get into and is referencing the show.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I don't like the show, but I'm like, it's like it's stupid to get so heated over something like that.
No, it was these
fictional characters, people.
these millennials that are all about like I'm not even joking. Like I wish I was.
Separation
This is
between
so
fiction, fiction and reality,
right.
between fantasy, reality. It's all you draw the line, folks.
Yeah, man, like just the simple fact that they were upset and because it's just sometimes I really wish that things that happen in our world and are like not real, but like it's just so stupid. It's a fictional character. These aren't real eggs. It's not a real
No.
species. Like get over it. Like it's not real. So
And then it's like we're pointing it out because it's part of what the character is doing in this episode.
I thought about buying up as many of these Funko Pops as I could and hand them out to people that like don't that were all up in all up in arms about it. Like, here you go. I bought it for you as a reminder of this genocidal maniac eating these fake eggs. But I don't even know if I want to rate this episode. I don't even want to give it the time of day to even focus on a rating because it's that bad.
Yeah, I didn't even get the chance to give a rating for the last episode. But for this one, it would just be it would just be like, and this would be probably a little more generous than it deserves, a 2 out of 10. I would say a 1.
Ooh.
Because of just, I mean, in legitimately too, because this really didn't feel like it moved much forward. It had a bunch of more stupid moments that was reminding us about season 1, which, I mean, if you got fans of the show, you don't need to really remind them that heavily of what transpired.
Right.
That was basically what that when they got him on, when they had Mando in that ice cavern and he's rattling off about the whole prison break thing. That's all that felt like to me was, oh, hey, remember in season 1?
Yeah.
What happened? You doing to relate back to the droid in there? Yeah. We remember.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. If you,
so,
I mean, you're,
no, and then like it is. I mean, they're trying to get to again play on like a cuteness, I guess, for Grogu or something, but I don't know. But they just have the little bastard going after those eggs.
The whole episode.
It is like not even playing it off as like something really serious, other than the 1 or 2 occasions Mando's like, no, stop doing that.
Right.
He doesn't beat the little thing. It's like really knock it off.
Yeah.
You're eating this lady's kids, for God's sakes.
He points to the dad finger like, no.
Yeah.
Not gonna tell you again.
Yeah, that was, I mean, even then it was just kind of like, all right, that's it. But still, the little shithead at the end of the episode has one last little egg and sucks it right down.
Right.
I mean, if that's not exactly a way to get you to be endeared toward the character, when, like I say, he's like basically trying to end this frog lady's line.
Right.
And that was like the whole importance of this. I'll just say it is the importance of this quest that he picked up in Mos Eisley of having to transport this frog lady to another planet to her husband. So then I guess what was it? He's gonna like basically fertilize them. So then they have the kids or whatever.
I didn't know you.
And it was like
had to fertilize eggs.
I don't know.
That
I'm
happened before they became eggs. I don't know.
I didn't really catch all of it.
I didn't pay attention to biology class, so don't know.
But it's like then that's the whole reason they had to travel via sublight or whatever to be slower, to make sure it was a safer travels for the. And it's like, they put this importance, but at the same time they're using it as a gag for Grogu to keep eating the damn eggs. But it's only very lightly, only in like a moment with the frog lady when she's cold and kind of huddled up with them and talking to Mando about the importance of them trying to get to that planet because of also what her husband sacrificed for this. So it's so trying to look for the words, but it just is. I don't know if it. I can't say it's disjointed, but it just like it's not taking what it's trying to set as a serious task.
Right.
It's turned it into a big freaking joke.
What was the character off Hellboy? The character that was underwater. It was a really smart character. It's like did you ever watch Hellboy, the first one?
It's been so long. It's been so long since I've watched that, so I couldn't tell you.
I'd much rather watch this character in Hellboy that eats the eggs than like Grogu eating these eggs, because at least like because there's a part in that movie where he eats the rotten hard-boiled eggs or whatever it is. It's a delicacy. I'd much rather watch that than watch this episode, because that's all it is. Blame you. I can't even believe I feel really bad because I was just gonna give like a -0. Like, I'm not gonna rate it, man. Like, because I could deal with I guess a filler. Like, at least with the filler episodes, I can. It's like, oh yeah, there's this part that was like it was tolerable, but this part didn't. Like, this episode is just dumb, stupid, absolutely no point.
Again, like I pointed out already.
Yeah,
it's like those X-wings managed to sneakily get inside the damn ice cavern. How? Okay, yeah, you got that big hole in there, but the big spider thing was apparently not listening. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like, 2 of them, nonetheless. 2 of them.
Yeah, not just one that got in, but both of them. And I knew that cavern looked big, but I didn't think it was big enough to fit the 2 of them
side by side, or what? I don't know.
Well, especially with Filoni's fat ass.
Like, well, yeah. So I don't know. It just made no sense. Like, I don't understand. Like, watch the first episode. You can literally skip this episode. Like, what? I guess.
Yeah, you could basically
not watch this episode and be fine.
And I'm guessing the next episode they're gonna just basically kind of lightly go over it again.
The only good,
because otherwise it just didn't feel like it was all that necessary.
No, the only good thing about this episode, I will tell you, is how abruptly it ended. Because I was like, oh, thank God this thing's done. Like, I got excited because I was watching the time, man. I was like, oh, God, I got another. I was like, at the 10-minute mark, I was like, I got another like 32 minutes of this, or 20 some odd minutes. I was like, and then I got to like, I was like, when is this going to end? Because this is so painful to watch. Yeah. And then it's like, I don't know if Filoni intentionally did this, but it like reminded me of Harry Potter. It's like he watched Harry Potter. Chamber of Secrets, and took that scene from Aragog and the spiders and implemented it into Star Wars.
I kind of got a bit of an Aliens vibe, more because especially of all the eggs, and then especially like once Grogu first ripped it open the way he did.
I didn't want to
kind of made me think of the face. Yeah. It made me think of the face hugger eggs.
So I didn't want to go there.
Whole swarm.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there because I didn't want it to ruin Alien for me.
Oh, so, you don't have to let it ruin it, but that was kind of where my brain went.
I agree. I see it did look like a little like the alien. It did look a little bit like the hatchling, but again, it's like just I don't know. I just feel like Filoni steals stuff. He's.
So yeah, the next episode is when we get the other Mandalorians.
Do you say
Katie's?
Is it Bo?
Yeah, Bo-Katan. We got Katie Sackhoff back in this. Not back, but she's making her appearance in the Mandalorian. Her character should be like 80.
Where the he's eating clam chowder with the octopus, and the octopus can't. Oh God, I can't.
Oh, that's right.
Where the octopus comes out and like basically pulls something again out of Alien and Predator. The thing gets on its face and tries to eat it.
Whoa, wait, what?
Is that it?
No, well, I was just looking at the writing credits for the next episode. George Lucas?
No way.
I didn't know he wrote any of these episodes.
No way.
I mean, it says writers Jon Favreau and George Lucas. So what?
Nah, fake news, CNN.
I had no idea.
There's no way. He's besmirching George Lucas's name. He's putting it there to take him down with him. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did.
Oh, it might be because I'm looking at some of the credits. This is like he gets credited, but only because it's based on Star Wars characters and stuff.
Okay.
So it might be that reason.
There's no way George would come up with something like just
because Bo-Katan was a character that was created under the George Lucas era. So
how does she get? I know why, because she's a lady. How does she get to reprise her role as Bo-Katan? But was it Dave Parks? Who did Maul? Was it Dave Parks?
Oh, Ray Park.
Ray Parks.
Well, remember Daviaso was telling us all about the drama that happened last week.
That's right. Because he violated his First Amendment right.
Yeah, it was quite explicit as he told us about.
Yeah, you don't
post that. You don't post that on Instagram. You maybe post it on OnlyFans, but you don't post it on Instagram.
Yeah, you can't. Apparently, you can't.
But no, you're right. He couldn't express his First Amendment rights.
Can't do that. Davi also brought up an interesting thing about how Disney apparently has this white list or this black list, and he mentioned that I wish he said he was going to try to get on, but how like Star Wars Theory,
I sent him the link, so I mean he wasn't more than welcome.
Yeah, Star Wars Theory wasn't invited to Celebration or Galaxies or the
Galaxy's
Galactic
Edge.
Star Trooper. Well, the Galactic Star.
Oh, Galactic Star Cruiser.
Anybody who speaks out on Disney or against Disney gets on what's called a whitelist. So I was like, well, I wonder where we're at on that list. But he like,
I don't even, we probably haven't quite made the list.
That's our goal. That's our goal. And
yeah, that's the goal, though.
Once we have made that list, like
we've made it.
We've made it. But I'm like, how does this guy has been doing it since like 2000,
yeah, that's kind of the funny thing because I mean
313,000 followers.
He would. Oh, Star Wars Theory? I thought he had way more than that.
1,313 million. I don't know. 300.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say. I was like, I didn't hear the million part first. I'm like, wait, he's gotta have 1 million subs. I thought.
Maybe I don't know, but yeah, he was invited to Celebration, and because apparently he's on.
Aviaso said they weren't going to Celebration because they were going to do a watch party. I thought.
Well, that's what he also said that, but he's pretty sure that he's on the whitelist. I'll DM him and be like, "Hey, brother, how did you?"
Yeah, Star Wars Theory has 3.8 million subscribers.
3.8 million. Okay, maybe
1.8, whatever.
Whatever it was. But I'm gonna DM and be like, "Hey, bro, how did you get on the whitelist?" Because Fracture and I, we're trying to get on that same list. We don't want 3.1. We care less about the 3.8 million subscribers you have. We just want to get on this whitelist. But yeah, he's doing a watch party thing. But do you follow
Russell
him?
Jimmy's? I'm a happy camper.
I haven't followed him yet. Like he's on my I have him on my search tab for Instagram, but I've not followed him because I feel like I like
Star
him,
Wars
but I just feel like he toes the line, and I just don't know if I can come. I know he has a passion for Star Wars, and I think he's a great dude from what I can tell. But like, I haven't hit the button. I haven't hit that follow button yet.
Right. Nah. Yeah. I mean, he's kind of like talked a little bit about just kind of how the Galactic Star Cruiser looked. He kind of was like, oh. Huh.
Yeah.
there was definitely some moments of him going, oh, that's not looking so great.
I'd love to talk to the guy.
I mean, it'd be interesting for sure.
I think he's a lot like you and I, because I think he wants things Star Wars to be good, but there's no denying the fact that they're not. If that makes sense. So.
No, I mean, yeah.
One of these days we'll get to like 3 subscribers, and then we'll get the 3.
Hey, we got a nice modest 10.
Hey, dude, that's fine. Hey, you got to start somewhere, man. But again, it's not about the subscribers; it's about the content and whatnot. But I just was curious. I was like, how he got on that list. Does the list
Yeah,
exist?
this whole whitelist thing is really funny. That of course they have something like that. Of course they're gonna be
for sure.
even
We're not
though
popular enough for they're
well
not
even
worried
though it's
about
funny considering I couldn't have after they had freaking Pablo Hidalgo mock him and laugh at him for having a strong reaction to the Mandalorian season 2 finale when Luke comes in and does this thing.
Wait, who laughed at who? Was the Star Wars
Pablo
theory?
Hidalgo mocked on Twitter Star Wars theory.
Really?
Because he had he had a very strong reaction to the scene. He teared up and everything. And so then he got mocked by the story group leader Pablo Hidalgo on the
Interesting.
Twitter. And
I did not know that.
I mean, for that alone, it's like, really, you're gonna put somebody on any kind of basically don't talk to basically a disavow list, and you're gonna put him on there of all people after that incident, really?
Yeah,
that's
that's
very,
cancel
very
culture.
that's very, very typical too for Disney. It's like,
for sure,
they're in the wrong, but at the same time, they're the ones in the right. So it's like, oh, right, okay, fuck
you. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll start following them. I don't know.
I mean, I follow him on YouTube. I just don't have notifications for his stuff that much because he sticks to a lot of the Disney canon stuff. So I'll have to check out some more of his stuff at some point. But for now,
I have to look at your list of people you follow, and then I check them up. Like, yeah, they're solid.
Yeah,
so I do. I like, and you said it before. Like, I think he tries to remain positive, which I think is good with all this negativity coming out from Disney. But I can't toe that line. I won't. It's not that I can't. Like, I won't do it. Like, I take very stance. But he's actually done videos where like he's come to George's defense. He was reading a letter or whatever. It's one of his videos where he came to George's defense after George sold it to Disney, and with the understanding that Disney was going to take
care
George's
of
ideas. Yes, take care of it and take his ideas and run with it. And then they came back and basically said, "F you, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to put it in Pandora's box." They stole it from Bad Boys, one of the Bad Boys 2. We're like, we're going to take these thoughts and feelings and ideas, and we're going to put it in Pandora's box and throw it into the ocean.
Yeah,
essentially. But shysters
all around.
Okay.
All right. Well,
that wraps it up. Where are we at? I didn't see where we ended up.
You hit the 2-hour 23 mark.
That was better than last week. I told Davia also. I was like, "Yeah, man, come on." I was like, "Fraction and I, we're both on vacation. We'll probably do another 4-hour thing." so just come on and But I think he's probably out eating or something. I don't know what he's doing. Should text him and be like, "Dude, where you at?"
Nah, it's all good.
We're gonna go easy on you this episode, man. So. Well, you got anything in the works? Anything you want to plug? You gonna be streaming on Twitch? I got my Twitch set up finally.
We'll have to work something out with that. I'm hopefully next time when I do, I'll actually remember to have the game audio set. I'm currently trimming down the stream that I did do. I'm trimming it down, and I'm putting some music in as well that I have that'll fill in the background, so you don't just hear my keyboard clacking and everything. So there'll at least be something extra. So I'll be trying to get that together, and of course putting the episode out all over the place. And I'll be trying to get in this more Outcast streaming. I'll try.
So question here real quick. So I know Kenobi is the 27th, yeah?
May 27th, yeah, and they're dropping 2 episodes.
Are we going to want to double up on some of these episodes to get through Mandalorian 2, or do we want to how do we want to go about doing that?
Well, that was my thought. We would do the both episodes, or at least we'll try to. If not, oh well, we'll just have to maybe spread it out, and we'll do the catch up the 2 episodes the following week.
Okay, so
because
like,
it's coming out at such an awkward time,
right? So we'll continue to do each week. We'll continue to do Mandalorian, and then when Obi-Wan comes out, we'll do those 2 episodes.
We'll switch over to Mandalorian. Switch over to Obi-Wan, because I'm guessing we might run out of episodes shy of Obi-Wan.
Is it 7 Is season 2 7 episodes or 8
of Mando?
Yeah,
it's I believe 8 episodes. Yeah, 8 episodes.
so we're on episode 2. So we'll only have 4. We'll be able to get 4 episodes done more before Kenobi.
3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, we may actually. Okay, we may be good. So we'll I think we'll focus when Obi-Wan comes out. We'll pause Mandalorian. We'll focus on Obi-Wan, and then we'll get back to.
We could jump back to Mando, finish it, and then
once Obi-Wan's done.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so that'll be the plans. How about for you, sir? You got anything in the works?
No, I like I said, I finally I feel stupid. I had to get get your help with this, but I got my Twitch going, so I'm gonna be trying. I think it'd be fun to do maybe a streaming session. We don't have to do it on a Saturday, but like doing a streaming. I want to try to see what we could do, like if we do like a dual streaming or something like that. So I'm trying to get that up in the works, but finally got it done. Same thing, J-Hit9187.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of my thought, trying to get more well versed in the realm of streaming, gaming, that kind of stuff. So especially Jedi Outcast, I think it'd be fun to do Jedi Outcast or really anything, any of those old games. I think it'd be fun.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
I got something I'm gonna play, and we'll be out. Adios, everyone.
Good night.
I have fought the worst of all wars and witnessed the redemption of evil. I have seen balance restored to the Force. But order can turn to chaos, as it did when I was born. Now, with my loved ones and my loyal allies, I face a new challenge unlike any before. And I'm not sure at this time we can win.
Star Wars Vector Prime by R.A. Salvatore, the first novel of the new Jedi Order.